Sorry, go.
Oh, I know what happened in Squid Game.
That's my fucking thing, dude. It's like, why do you need to show that? God damn it. And welcome to the pod. This is BetaBeard, the show where we talk geek stuff, everything from theater to movies, from wrestling to anime, from games to anything in the world of geekdom. This pod has got you covered. My name is George Schulze, and I'm super pumped to reintroduce you to my amazing co-hosts. First of all, I want to give a special shout out to the wickedly talented one and only Bibo Reyes. Oh man, I love how you guys get it. That's already where it starts off in the theater. And last but not least, we have the beautiful. We have he's light, he's airy, he's creamy, the absolutely sublime Dean Daniel Rosen. Alright, okay, I want to start this off because last episode we didn't get to fully go into it. Mm-hmm. But this time, we've heard the theme song. It's amazing.
Thank you.
I love how I'm going to have to... Bibo, I'm just going to make sure you edit all those beard sensors in there.
Oh, no.
It's really
dude,
good.
It's like 15 minutes worth of work for each one.
That's... that'll be my last. I just wanted to give you one early.
Go ahead. If ever I piss you off this week, then you know what to do.
No.
That's another
No.
sensor.
We're good. No, I just wanted to actually take this opportunity to do a special shout out to both of you for this theme song because, again, Dean Daniel Rosen wrote the song. I don't know why I keep saying Dean Daniel Rosen. Dean wrote the song. It's a great song. Bibo went to him with this concept, and Bibo was like, Dean, I just kind of want our own, anime theme. I want it to feel awesome and epic, and you're a metalhead. Make it work. And then Dean just, comes in, and he's like, this is what I have in mind. And, Bibo's just like, we've discussed, the concept of the graphic, and Bibo immediately had this spread. What a professional of all the concepts he had, and it all worked out. The animatic was done by Bibo. So a special, amazing job to both of you on that theme song. It was so fun. And I was happy enough to pat myself on the back that I at least joined you guys to record it. So I did something.
And hit those freaking notes. Those inhuman, beastly-ass notes that you just did.
If there's one thing I'm happy to contribute, it is the fact that I have I can hit those high belts, which it doesn't always hit, but when there's a mic and you're recording over and over again, there's time.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome job, guys. It's freaking awesome. And yeah, here we are, episode 2. I'm super excited. How are you guys?
Good. I'm good. You can, I don't know if you can hear my cat in the background. My cat is in heat at the moment. It's just for those who don't know, my cat has this disorder where she's in heat 10 days of every month. If you can imagine what that's like. I love her to bits.
What's the usual number of days? I am animal ignorant. What's the...
Yeah, cats go in heat around January for around 10 days,
okay.
and that's it.
Oh, I see.
For the year. But she has 12 times as much
horniness and as soon as
other
you
cats.
Can, man, you gotta spare as soon as you can.
That's the problem. Is that I'm
so
taking up airtime.
She's not in discomfort, right? No. I mean, this show is partly about cats too.
Yeah, cats. Jeez, then be cat owners.
We talk about cat stuff.
And we talk about cat stuff
because
the
millennial cat dads, except people.
Except people. No, because the thing is that you have to it's better to wait for when they're not in heat. But then
absolutely.
Something always comes up.
Your window's so short.
Yeah, I know. That's
one.
the thing.
So, right.
But yeah, so if you hear a cat going crazy in the background, don't worry about her. It happens to her every month.
It's all right. Our official fourth co-host for today is Cookie.
Yeah,
so
she'll chime in now and again.
Very welcome to have Cookie on board for
anyway,
this episode.
Enough about me and my house. How are you, Bibo?
I am doing great. I just rejoined the world, as you guys saw on Le
Yeah,
Facebook.
congrats, man.
And that was I'll take the time to mention. I won't go into this too much. but you just
Shoot
said it,
dude. Go
Georgie.
for it.
This thing we're doing, this podcast, is kind of. I approached Georgie, and then we approached you, Dean. But like, this was a kind of a reward for myself for achieving what George and I set out to achieve with So for the audience who don't know, we George and I have sort of like been keeping each other like accountable over the past few months with our own personal goals and what we want for ourselves, with our health, with our lives, and like this whole thing, and how this thing really got started was, so George and I would like have these check-in calls, right? And after a few weeks of doing that, I was just like, you know what, dude? We are talking about so much cool shit while we talk on these calls. There are a lot of good ideas that come here. You're a smart dude. I'm a kind of a smart dude. You know, we get into like these really cool ideas.
Yeah, why don't we talk about your IQ and then revisit this conversation?
I might have had the highest IQ in my high school class. I don't know.
See, you know, I'm kind of a smart dude. Bibo's a mad genius. Dean is a mad genius.
George is
Go on, Beeb.
It's all about what you do with it, though.
Oh my god, I'm just mad.
It's
I'm
always the beta instinct to be like, you're awesome and you're awesome. Let's
You're
move
awesome.
on.
You're awesome. By the way, speaking of that,
but like-minded kindred spirits.
yeah, dude. And Dean, I gotta say, sorry, George. Going back to the song again, I gotta say thank you,
Go for
Dean,
it.
because I realized that was the first original song that I recorded and sort of like shared with the world, really. And I've never really done that. I don't think. At the most was like original arrangements of songs,
Yeah.
but not like something, much less something that a good friend of mine made. So it made me even more proud. So thank you once
awesome.
again
That's
for
so cool.
entertaining my you know, I felt like you know, that typical like trope of a character, like that young king who demands things like, make me a theme song and it must be like this and it must feel like this and we will have a podcast and it will be great. So thank you, Dean. That's how
And Dean pulled it off so fast too.
I know.
you.
I was like, what the hell?
Like Bibo was, for context, Bibo was messaging Dean, you know, at your own time, whenever it's okay. I know you're doing a couple of things right now, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I have a prototype," and you know,
I had it in my head.
I'm not sure if that's
the
what you
thing.
call a song, but he just like kind of went in on it. And before we go back to
Insane.
Bibo's amazing story of triumph, because I want to talk a little bit about Bibo and I's check-ins as well, because it could serve as a guide for other two buddies to help keep each other accountable, and I'm excited to get into that.
Legit, man.
But Dean, this song, especially, and Bibo with your animations, when I watch it, I get that feeling that, you know, you so look for and we've talked about our success with Millennial Men. So it makes me feel like it's Saturday morning, I've woken up early, I'm in the couch, I have a blanket, and I'm about to watch SWAT Cats.
Awesome.
That is how that song makes me feel. For anybody who's Gen Z who doesn't know SWAT Cats, that's totally cool. Check it out. It's an amazing cartoon from, I guess I'd say the 90s.
Yeah.
90s cartoon. Freaking one of the best ever. But yeah, that's how it makes me feel, and that's exactly, I think, what we wanted with the song, and you just knocked it out of the park, man.
Oh, thanks, man. I love those old.
Great job,
anyway.
great job.
Let's get back to your accountability thing, because I'm actually really interested in that, because wow, you guys achieved a lot with it.
Bibo achieved
Yeah.
way more, but you know,
Well-
I'm so proud to have been there.
But it-
he took it next level. I was nowhere near, my goals were nowhere near as crazy as Bibo's. Bibo had, his mindset was so, he was just a dart with a target and going right for it.
No, but like, you know, it's sort of that thing. Okay, so not to get too much into it, but basically, George and I kept each other, I use air quotes when I say accountable, because it's sort of like my own, it was some, like this system that I came up with for myself whenever I wanted to like observe something. Like, let's say I wanted to do a 3-day fast. Sometimes I'd call up a friend and be like, hey, can you be my sponsor? I call it like being a sponsor, like sort of like with AA and that type of stuff, right? I want to do this thing over this period of time. If I ever screw up, I need to tell you, and you need to come up with a consequence for me that I won't know about. So it's like this mystery consequence that I'm living in fear of this entire time. And for like 4 months now, George and I have been like scared to call each other because like the day may come where we have to unleash, the wrath of the consequence upon our friend.
Have you had to?
Never.
At any
No,
point?
never.
We hit.
Wow.
We were a perfect record
Yeah.
because we let each other know that the consequence is gonna be bad, and we're not
gonna
gonna
be
tell. We didn't reveal what it was, and it was only kind of after the second month that Bibo was like, "What was your consequence, George?"
Yeah. Let's
Because he
reveal.
was so consistent.
Let's reveal
what
them
were
now to each other so we have a baseline, and then let's come up with new ones.
Okay.
I love George's
Okay.
consequence. Yeah, that was so good. I don't know if Mara helped you come up with it, but it was
No,
a great-
all me, dude.
What
All
was
me.
it?
I'll take credit for that.
Tell the people what your
Okay,
consequence
so
was.
my consequence for Bibo was because we had to do it no matter what was asked.
Yeah.
And of course within the context of, let's make it a human task and not make it, you don't want it to be something that really defaces you or
Yeah.
anything. But what I had in mind for Bibo, especially because he was building up his confidence to get back on the social media train, to like post a bit more, which is why this was his reward, right? Like he said. So my consequence that I had lined up for him was that he would have to sign up for an online ballet class and record himself taking the class in full ballet outfit and use that as his first social media post. that was my consequence. And when Bibo heard it, he was like,
That would have been so bad.
"Oh man!"
To be
And
real-
he was like,
real
"Oh, yours
talk-
was me." Bibo's like, "Yours was meaner than mine." I was like,
But real talk, if you did that, you'd probably get a lot of love for it. Like,
You know
honestly.
what?
That's partly why I constructed it like that.
That's why I'm facepalming right now, because our friends who are gonna watch this are gonna be like, "Okay, Bibo, now
you should do that."
have to do that."
Yeah. Just take a ballet class full on and just all of the movements just like, okay, plie, just like everything just trying his best. I'll have you know though, and I'll make this statement really quick. Ballet, I think it's and this is part of our whole conversation into talking about we'll get into it later about kind of more about what is BetaBeard or what is a beta male, what is our context, how we want to spin that narrative. Because I think a lot of what men go through today, a lot of the insecurities and fears stem from toxic masculinity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just such a severe issue in that caps how men can go about feeling their emotions or pursuing beautiful, disciplined arts like ballet.
Yeah.
So, if I ever have a son, 100%, when he's young and he's a kid, I'm going to put him in ballet no matter what. Because as a core and,
You motherfucker,
and
you're gonna
discipline.
take ballet.
Yeah, no, 100%. Dude, you know what? Dean, sorry, I'm going to mention sports a little bit. But
It's all good.
there's I have to apologize. There's a boxer. His name is like Lomachenko.
Yeah.
He's an amazing,
Vasily Lomachenko.
And his dad pulled him out of boxing and said, "You can come back to boxing, but I want you to master ballet first."
Yeah.
Because the core that you get, the discipline, the balance, everything, it sets up your whole foundation
Oh man,
for
absolutely,
being
yeah.
for being an efficient, effective adult from the physical standpoint and a little bit mental too. So sorry, just had the sidebar there
legit.
because so important,
Real, man.
so important. So that's why I also wanted to have Bibo post that because in my mind I was like, two birds, one stone. Bibo gets to kind of like showcase that like, no, I'm doing this for myself, right? And that's important too. Yeah.
But I feel like we can honestly get into it now because like now that you say that and this was not like I didn't think about revealing this at all. And so again, for the people who don't know, like the thing that I got back on social media on and everything is because so I just gained a shit ton of weight earlier by the start of this year. I was almost back to my biggest weight. I've always been like a fat kid who grew into an obese adult. That's one of my one of the ways I describe it. And
It was a beautiful post.
Basically, our George and my accountability, part of it was me, like, getting my nutrition and fitness in order so that I could get back to being a healthy human again. And just going back to that, like, a lot of people could look at the vulnerability that I made sure I observed in sharing that and be like, oh, that's weak, man. Like, you shouldn't be that sensitive, or you shouldn't be that you shouldn't talk about your feelings that much or whatever. And then it goes back to like shows that we did, like Suicide Incorporated, where
Absolutely,
some men are driven to like do horrible things to themselves just because they feel like they can't really be a part of the world the way they really want to be, just because things are expected of being a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got so somber.
I know. But
in a great way.
I don't mind that for this,
amazing.
actually, honestly.
No. I think it's important. For this.
After our first episode, I felt like it was fun and everything, but I do feel like the conversations that we had when we were keeping each other in check, like they got really deep. And even doing that, a lot of guys wouldn't do that, right? They wouldn't be so open to each other to be like, hey, I want to share this. What do you think? What should I do? Blah blah blah. You gotta just figure it out for yourself, right? So, I hope we can like impart a message to the world. That's like, it's not what it's about, man. You can be badass and kick ass and metal, but still be sensitive and like, and be there for each other.
It's better.
Yeah. Being supportive.
Fuck being an alpha.
Is badass. Being supportive. Being a friend, being a homie, being accountable to your friends. I think that's badass.
Yeah.
So I think that's the narrative we're trying to put forth.
And like, it's like definitely like just to go into like why BetaBeard and why beta, because a lot of people might be confused about that, because like, isn't beta an insult or something like that? But to me, like when people, I used to be guilty of this as well. I mean, I think a lot of men of our age were probably guilty of toxic masculinity at some point, right?
Oh yeah.
But like for me, I used to be like, oh yeah, that's like I used to reinforce all those alpha stereotypes. But I never went as far as like, yeah, man, that's alpha as F, you know what I mean? Like that. And when I hear people say that, oh, man, that's alpha as F, or like I'm so alpha or something like that, that to me is just like translates directly in my head as like, I'm an asshole. Because let's face it, like, whatever definition of beta alphas seem to have, if you just reverse engineer that, it becomes like, oh, self-centered, demanding, maybe selfish in other ways and stuff like that, inconsiderate, unfeeling. Maybe
it's like it sort of like discredits the alpha. It's just a personality type. We're not saying like if someone is an alpha personality that they're automatically a jerk or whatever, right? It's just that the
not a real alpha.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a real alpha.
Because we know a lot of like dudes who are like very very outspoken, very very perhaps extroverted or whatever, who are great people, right? It's just that they sort of appropriate that kind of like ideal of like, oh, he's so fucking alpha, yeah.
Alpha as fuck, man. So alpha as fuck, dude.
So alpha as fuck.
But it's it's kind of found this wave of popularity now. I mean, especially you have TikTok and you have people like Gary V, who are just like, you gotta be an alpha, you gotta go get it. You gotta be this, you gotta be that. Like, be your best alpha male, alpha self. Girls only like alpha males, and it's like, that's like, I don't 100% think that's true. I think beta males can have alpha qualities.
Yes, exactly.
And I think alpha males can have beta qualities. Yeah. And what we're trying to put forth as what do we mean as beta males is that our first instincts are to be there for, or to not necessarily, like, if I had a chance to get a role, right, and Dean was up for the same role, and I could get that role by screwing over Dean a bit, That's not even an option in my head because it's like, no, I would never ever, just as an example, right? I would never do that. So I feel like that's just an important conversation now because a lot of people would say like, no, it's your life, bro. If it's your life, your role, do whatever it takes. You know, be a man. Get it, dude. Be alpha.
Sorry,
Get that.
That just reminds me of just bring it back to like a theater thing.
Because, dude, we're in the same category, the three of us,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're right smack dab in the middle of competing for the same shit.
No, one time, Direct Bobby went up to me. So, Nel, our friend, Nelsito Gomez, who's an amazing actor, Nel. Amazing creator, director.
He's amazing.
Direct Bobby one day was like, so Bibo, if you know, and a bunch of people were there. It was like a rehearsal for something I don't remember anymore. But he was like, so Bibo, what would you do if a role came down to it was between you and Nel, and I just went, push him down the stairs. Just because. But that was a joke. That's just because I love Nel. And he's really good friend. Push him down the stairs.
Bibo, secret.
And then Nel was like, no, people can have it.
Oh, man.
So see, I mean, I identify as a beta male.
Nel is a sweetheart, man. You know? Nel is a sweetheart, yeah.
Yeah.
And he is so supportive, too. You know, there was one time where I think, and this is something that I'm gonna definitely ask you guys about in future shows, because you know, and it's a rough topic. It's gonna be hard because it's about the band's visit, right? And but I know that Nell and I kind of wanted the same part, and I believe at the time I might have been up for that part. I don't want to speak for certainties, but. I think they were thinking about me just because my vocal range and my voice fit the song. You know, I mean, after working. And Nell, who wanted the same role, when he got the vibe that I was being looked at for it, he freaking, you know, I mean, gave me the tools to like to help me audition for it. You know, like Nell gave me. You know, I mean, when I needed it, he taught me how to do like a very small like medicinal routine to get your voice, because I had a chronic pharyngitis, and my God, that's a freaking thing. That's a story for another time. But he was the one helping me, you know. So Nell, like, just shout out to our honorary fourth beta bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
He
is a great dude and a sweetheart. And you know, if you're watching this, Nell, nothing but love and respect for you, brother.
Yeah. Beta as fuck, man.
You're beta as fuck.
God, you know,
support each other.
You know what's ridiculous? Like, we're trying to keep these to like 40 minutes, and I had these topics that I wanted to hit. We're 23 minutes in, 24 now, and I haven't even gone to like
Georgie, take us
to
your promised
land.
No, you know, we're smack dab on one of them, which is I wanted to just explain more about why BetaBeard, you know, what that's about, because the first episode was, of course, your introductions, just having fun. There's a beautiful comment said quite a few comments that said this felt like a hug from our friends, because you know I know that feeling of, you know, you're listening to your friends hang out and you almost feel like you're in the room. So like with BetaBeard, that's just what we really wanted, and I think we've expressed that enough of what we're trying to put forward. That, you know, I mean, we think that it's kind of a statement against toxic masculinity. It's kind of just like showing that, you know, I mean, for men, there are these amazing qualities that you can have that might be seen technically as, you know, I mean, non-alpha or feminine, but sometimes the feminine qualities that you can have as a man are the best qualities, you know, and it's all about being yourself and being comfortable with that. But yeah, to move it, I actually wanted to, Bibo and Dean, shocking. I wanted to, this episode, if it's okay with you guys, to talk about geek stuff.
Wow. You don't say.
We should eventually get to that, huh?
Yeah. I wanted to kind of talk about geek stuff. I was hoping to hit that, but here we are, 25 minutes in, and we haven't even told a few more stories of like our world acting together. Yeah,
I know.
Together as theater actors, which, but you know, there's a lot of time for that.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
if you would allow for me to shift topics into something a little more geek related.
Yeah.
there is something that is about to happen or that is happening that I really wanted to get you guys' thoughts on. And just roll with me. Cinemas, they are opening.
Yeah.
Some people are going to be watching because some people are going to be totally down to watch and have are vaccinated and they're happy to be back in cinemas. Some people are going to be, refraining or still playing it a little safe.
Me.
So now is as good a time as ever to do one of my first topics that I want to bring up. Spoilers.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about spoilers, whether it be for shows, Game of Thrones? What are your thoughts on, what is the waiting period? What is the grace period for watching something? Let's say Dune, a lot of people are already watching Dune. Some people are waiting for the cinemas.
Yeah.
How long do you wait before you make posts? And how would you go about making these posts about, because if you have to make a post about to show the world I watched it, how do you kind of filter that to be considerate of the people who really care about spoilers? Because a lot of people don't get that spoilers are super, super important to a lot of people. They want to enjoy the content as if it's the first time watching it. So
Yeah, absolutely. I have
Dean,
a lot
go
to
ahead.
say.
Yes. Dean,
let's go into it. Let's talk about geek stuff. It's about time.
Oh boy.
Because I'm one of those. Okay, and of course this is my stance. See how beta I got there. I was just like, I have a lot to say, but this is just my opinion. But I think that there should be legal ramifications for spoiling things for other people. I think it's bullshit.
Man.
There was this study that came out. I think it was 2018 or something.
Oh, he's bringing in studies.
Yeah, no,
That's what, dude. That is Dean's
Let's go, dude.
That is his purview.
And I couldn't.
Dean is the random fact guy, and now he's bringing in a study. So, what is the study?
No, there was this citation. Of course, a lot of filmmakers heard about it because it's absolute bullshit. But there was a study that said that people like being spoiled. People like knowing the end of a movie. Yes, this is this is the same people that thought that, women superheroes aren't profitable because look at Supergirl, look at Catwoman. Yeah, it doesn't matter that those movies were absolute pieces of dog shit and had nothing to do with the fact that they had female leads. These are the same people, they do market research for Hollywood, and they were like, no, people like it. That's why in 2019, we got so many trailers where the third trailer just gave away the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's a whole nother thing. Trailers and what they're showing. It's like,
because
dude.
There was some fucking stupid market who obviously went around to focus groups that just so happened to be full of absolutely anxiety crippled adults. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who wanted to know the surprises of the movie before the movie comes out. Absolute 100% garbage. You only have to have a human brain to understand that that's stupid. You know what I mean?
Sorry. I'm just so happy seeing Dean this fired up and pissed off.
Yeah, I know.
Something.
It's great. It happens once in a while. When it does, it's a spectacle.
How much of a fucking brain dead asshole do you have to be to read that on a thing? People like knowing the end of a movie before they see it.
Yes,
that's how I'm going to conduct my business from now on. How much of a
Dean.
fucking asshole do you have to be like that? So yeah, that there was this period of time where trailers just fucking gave away the ending to movies. Batman v Superman, basically gave away Doomsday and all of that. Wonder Woman, so many movies like that just absolutely gave away in the third trailers. And I stopped. I started doing social media blackout for trailers. So I just want to say, I had a lot to say, and I said it, and I'm going to say it again to camera. I'm going to look right in the camera, and I'm going to say, you people in Hollywood who think that if people knowing the end of a movie before they actually see the movie is a good thing, you're fucking idiots. Go back to school.
You know what, Dean, as the honorary kind of assigned host for this episode, I want to start off to answer by saying I acknowledge your feelings.
And you are seen.
You are seen. You are safe in this space. These are valid feelings. And your anger It's deserved, bro. So I just want to say thank you for getting angry for us.
Yeah,
What's
sorry,
up?
my light ran out of battery. In
That's
the back there.
cool.
It's suddenly gone.
It just
That's
couldn't
cool,
take
man.
it. It just couldn't take.
Yeah,
the
no.
rage
You're
and the fire.
the heat. Mm-hmm.
I don't even care. Go ahead, just carry on.
Okay,
We'll
well,
keep
you know
going.
what? Let's take this opportunity while Dean's fixing his light. Bibo, I wanted to get your opinion
Okay.
too. Spoilers. Let's take it back. Let's take it
Ooh.
back to an era long gone when Game of Thrones was good. You know, I mean,
Wow.
let's take it.
Controversial opinion.
Damn.
Let's take it back to. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. The last season, it was rushed. It was rushed.
Yeah, for sure.
It could have been great. There could have been, but you know, we're always talking about, and we talked about last episode, comedy being the root of all things, and setup and payoff, and what for the reason
There
of
were
that.
no laughs.
And
There were no laughs at the end of that series.
no, but in Game of Thrones, it's like, you know, you gotta earn your payoff. You can't just. Anyway, so let's take it back there, Bibo. We're in a bygone era, or let's even take it back to more recent, something like the MCU shows, which have like amazing shows of the MCU. How do you feel about spoilers? What's the grace period? What are your thoughts on it?
I will say, first of all, Dean, I so appreciate the other, like, because when we hear spoilers, right, we go, people who like spoil it online and shit like that. But then for the problem to go as deep as like market research and all that crap, then I appreciate hearing that, because then now I can shit on the people. Cause like, dude, I mean, I feel the same as Dina, same as you, George. Like I've written my, you know, my treatises online about how like you people really need to calm down about like, you know, about talking about stuff online. Let other people have their fun. Jesus Christ. Part of the fun is the surprise, all that. And I feel that way so strongly that, the beta side of me will now try to, you know, I'm surprised I'm even talking about this. But so one thing that happened with me recently is, a big twist I still haven't finished it. I'm only in the middle of like the 4th episode. A big twist in Squid Game was spoiled for me. Right? And I hadn't even started yet watching. And I didn't mind too much because, you know, it varies naman, right? If you're, because I wasn't invested yet. I didn't really, it's not like a property that I've followed my entire life. So knowing the twist, whatever, it's sometimes it's in the execution anyway. That's what matters. But like, also, but you know, still, knowing is still knowing, right? And it was from an older relative, right? And I realized something there. I can't blame people who didn't grow up in the on-demand era as much because even before like syndication or whatever, I'm not saying my relatives are that old that they most of the TV they watched was before syndication, but like, you know, when reruns weren't as big a thing, if something
I remember not 6. But
you know, before
the woman looking left show. Sorry.
But like when something was shown on air, if you didn't see it then, you didn't see it, right? So they would assume that anyone who would care to see it has seen it. So it's just once it's shown and it's out, it's just free reign to talk about, right? And I feel like that's a process and a behavior that just will not be changed in the older generation. They just like, if something's out, you just watch it right away, or it's been watched already, and we can just talk about it over dinner, no matter what.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, right? Unfortunately, I wish it could be changed, but I doubt it will be. I have this problem with my dad a lot, and you guys know that my dad is my best friend, and we watch all the movies together. You guys have seen a movie with my dad.
Yeah.
I've seen a movie with it.
He is so bad with spoilers to this day that
My
it's
dad
just
too.
like, sometimes I'll just ask him like, hey, have you seen this episode of this thing? And he'll just be like, yeah, I can't believe that. I'm like, I didn't say I've seen it. I just asked if you did. to tell you not to tell me anything. But he still does anyway. It doesn't matter. Sometimes,
I want to just take this moment.
Sometimes it's just like he'll just ask a question, and I'm like, I know already because of the question you asked. I know already. Like, sorry, that's all, George. Yes, what were you gonna say?
No. I'm gonna flow with you, but just to give some context to any of the geek listeners, Bibo's dad is part of the reason why he decided to go on the epic journey that is the close to 1,000 episode masterpiece, One Piece, right?
Yep.
So like I can hear the fire in his voice because One Piece, if somebody's telling you to watch One Piece and he's spoiling One Piece for you, it's the rudest thing.
That's the thing.
Lucky enough. Yeah.
I think it's
and
just
Bibo's dad being the guy.
It's funny you mentioned One Piece and my dad. So my dad like got into One Piece. He got me into One Piece when I was like a decade ago or whatever. He's never spoiled anything about One Piece to me, which probably just means he cares about One Piece more, so much more than all of the other crap that he spoiled for me.
Bro, gives such a soft spot for me for your dad because One Piece is. I've been there. I've watched every episode. I read the manga, so I'm just
wow, you've watched
props
every
to your
episode?
Dad. Oh, dude, and Bibo did too recently.
Yeah.
Like,
we're all caught up, man.
Well, Bibo finished his journey recently, but yeah. Funny story. We had one check-in call. Oh my god, Dean, it's just so funny. It was the nerdiest, bitchiest check-in call of Bibo, and I died. Because like Bibo was like, can I just rant? And I was like, sure, dude. What's up? He's just like, can I just say that One Piece's 1,000th episode is coming out, and if it was coming out a week later, it would come out on the day of my birthday.
a week earlier,
ranting about the fact that but now my birthday is gonna be episode 999. Sorry, I'm laughing so much because it was so great, and I understood it so much because it's like, yeah, I'd want my birthday to be in the 1,000th episode too.
But think about it. How many stars would have to align?
Dude.
How many stars would have to align for your birthday to be on the 1,000th episode of something you love so much? Not enough for me, apparently.
Oh my god.
That's the answer.
I love how it's still there. There's still vitriol in your voice.
Don't worry, Dean. Bibo and I will work together one of these days to explain the 1,000 episode so far arcs and try and get the story across to you in One Piece. And by the end of that episode, you're gonna be like, I'm a One Piece fan now.
Dean,
right,
oh my god,
Dean?
just a preamble to the inevitable, like, selling Dean on One Piece.
Yeah.
We've talked about setup and payoff, man. It's been 20 years, and like, it's just been set up, little bit of payoff, set up, little bit of payoff to that like one moment at the end. The title of the show is One Piece. It's an entire world about one piece, like one freaking piece. We don't know what it is yet, but it's the one thing, and it's been 20 years.
No,
wow,
just saying.
And he's paying off things now that he wrote 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And considering that
you hear that Derm? You hear that?
There aren't a lot of holes in the plot. Like, there are a lot of people who are like, it's kind of hard to there are of course plot holes, but they're so hard to find and there's so few of them that it's amazing. It's amazing what he's done.
In 20 years, for the plot holes to be like sort of imperceptible is pretty amazing. I haven't seen the show at all.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of geeks that are just like, oh, you haven't seen any One Piece? No, I haven't seen any.
Dean's version of his 20-year show is Doctor Who.
Oh,
that's what Dean watches. That's what Dean watches. And you know what? If you guys could enlighten me on the story of Doctor Who one of these days. I haven't seen Doctor Who.
It's gonna be One Piece in reverse because I haven't seen a single episode either.
Oh,
so we'll have Dean be the storyteller of that episode and talk Doctor Who.
Sorry,
Yeah, you
going
wanna
back
talk years anyway.
to your original question, Georgie. As far as spoilers, one last thing that I'll say.
Yeah.
Because your question was, what's the time limit, right? To me,
Yeah.
there is none. Just ask. Have you seen blank? No? Okay, then I won't spoil it for you. It's human.
But posts. What about posts?
That's the thing. Will you die if you don't post this spoiler?
That's my fucking thing, dude. It's like, why do you need to show that you know? Or
It's
like,
that, Georgie, I'm sorry. You know this, and Dean, you know this. It's that the people just need to know, to show that I know what happened in Squid Game. You know, things like that. It's just,
Will you die?
will you die? Will you spontaneously combust if you take this away from me? No? Then please don't.
okay.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'm getting a vision of the future for for the intro of this episode. We're gonna have, so prepare for the opinions of 3 very privileged millennial cisgendered men. I know about Squid Game. I'm calling it now. You're gonna see it in the start of this episode, and then you're gonna watch me say that, and you're gonna know why. You're gonna know why. You're gonna know why.
Complete out of context.
Yeah, just like millennial cisgendered men. You're gonna talk about Squid Game. Beta.
I love that.
I'm just saying. You're gonna hear it.
Oh man.
You're gonna see it. You're gonna know why. All right, we are actually unfortunately we're coming to the kind of the rear end of the episode.
Ooh,
Which,
yeah.
the rear end.
All right.
The rear
Sorry.
end.
I got uncomfortably excited about that.
The beta back of the episode where it's. Yeah, and I think I'm going to take these 2 minutes as the host to just acknowledge again both of your feelings on spoilers, man. Like, the rage has been heard, felt, appreciated because it's real, dude. Like, again, nobody cares that you've seen whatever it is that's out for you to see if it means that it's going to lessen their experience of seeing it. Because the argument to be made that, well, if you were a real fan, you would have watched it is bullshit. Because we are adults. We have work. Sometimes we have different priorities. Sometimes we like to let the season build and binge it because that's how you want to watch. And that's cool too. But don't feel like you need to be the guy to be like, oh my god, that episode 8 though. Even just saying that at times, it's like, great, now I know episode 8, something amazing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know? Like, even if you think you're so clever, even if you think you're so fucking clever with how you hide your spoilers, you're not.
Yeah.
You're fucking not.
Yes,
all
and
right?
that's another thing. The clever ones are the worst ones because we know what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
That's how just because I don't know how much time we have left, but like that's how I get spoiled a lot because people are like, well, I don't want to say anything. Well, actually, this isn't anybody. This is my family, right? So I'm not pointing fingers at anyone except my family because my dad he'll be like all suave about it. And he'll be like, spoiler alert for Man in the High Castle, by the way. I'm not going to spoil. He'll be like, I'm not going to say exactly what he said, but he'll be like, by the way, if you're a fan of this actor, you should watch Man in the High Castle because he's got quite a role in it. I'm like, is it the Man in the High Castle? Because that's the only person that you don't have that you don't know is in the fucking cast. I wonder if he's the Man in the High Castle.
I love how he's like, spoiler alert. It's like, dude, it's the classic. No offense, but here's an insult,
Exactly.
like just stop it. Just be like, have you seen it? If yes, do you want to talk about it? If yes, talk about it. If no, be like, I'll wait till you see it.
Have you guys seen that ProZD video where it's just these two guys like trying to sell, like talking to their third friend about anime? are with now, but sort of like right now. No, that was the skit, right? So he was playing all three guys, and then they were like, "So how are you finding it so far? Yeah, you're liking it, blah blah blah." And then, "Oh, do you like this character?" And I'll use Lion King as a substitute, right? "Oh, do you know Mufasa? You know Mufasa?" I was like, "Yeah, Mufasa's pretty cool." "Oh, you like Mufasa, huh?" "Well, let's just say no spoilers, but don't get too attached."
Oh my god!
I have a question. What is the one? Let's start with you, George. What's the one thing that if had it been spoiled for you, would have made you choose violence? If it did.
You know, I'm gonna go into this for my brother Mark. This is for you. My brother's name is Mark. This is a tragic story of Mark.
Oh my god.
And it's gonna hurt, so I'm gonna say it. And Mark, this is with full love for you. I'm sharing your story to the world. Our 30 subscribers are gonna hear this, and all 30 of them are gonna hear this, and they're gonna know your pain. And somewhere out there will be empathy for you. My brother, in high school, was very into, and I'm gonna say it right now, book 6 of Harry Potter. Reading it.
Oh my god.
And he was reading it in class. So, you know, you could argue that, yeah, put the book down, dude, you're in class. But he was reading it, and he was so engrossed, and he was just in his book. And his teacher, whose name, and I kid you not, is Miss Venus. I kid you not, that's her name, Miss Venus.
Immature.
Her name is Miss Venus. You know, the Philippine private educational system raises amazing young men and women, but they have the treasure trove of hilarious teacher names that nobody else will quite understand. B-boy, you know, like, you're not the Neo boy, you get it. I went to LaSalle, I get it. You know. Miss Venus. And Mark is reading his book, and she was trying to get his attention, and she was like, Mark. And then he was reading, and he wasn't looking up, and then she like looks at him, and then she says, Beard. And Mark looks up, and his heart breaks, and the whole story crumbles.
Oh
and
my goodness.
She, the teacher, and I'll never forget Mark telling me the story, realized what she'd had done after she said it. And she was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And that was it for, like, there was silent treatment for the rest of the year for Miss Venus.
Oh no.
So,
Oh
you know,
God.
I think, like, just, you said violence, Bibo. If you get if that's the degree of spoiler that you want to be able to do and ruin, bro, you know, I'll convert slightly into an alpha to tell you, hey, that wasn't very nice.
You should be very ashamed of yourself.
That's it. So it's just sharing that story because, like, dude, like, and it all comes back to, if you have nothing nice to say, don't fucking say anything.
Yeah.
If you don't have to fucking say anything about the show, don't fucking say anything about the show. Yeah. You don't fucking need to. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your opinion about the show.
I'm loving how
Sorry,
I'm discovering
it.
that, like, when George tries to emulate, like, feigned outrage, his voice is super placed when he wants to, like, scream something out.
That's training. I will say, I'll tell us. Do you mind if I go?
Yeah,
next?
what about you,
Because-
Dean?
No. We were 50, a little past 50 last. We're coming in on 50 minutes now. We're
Okay.
trying to get this to be a 45-minute show.
It's not working.
It's been
I'm
hard.
gonna try and get it out fast so that people can get his out as well.
Every episode, we're gonna like try and shave a few minutes down until we're pros, and 45 minutes is just we're good. But we're still starting. So Dean, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a story where I almost did choose violence. Okay, so to answer your question, Bibo, The Last of Us. If someone spoiled that for me, I would have chosen
Really?
violence. But because it's an amazing story. But there was one time where I hadn't seen the film yet, so I didn't know, if I was gonna like it or not. But Batman v Superman was spoiled for me, like a day before I was gonna watch it. Okay. So I had tickets already. But, it's like schedules. I couldn't get a ticket for like one of the earlier showings.
Yeah.
And me and my family were having dinner at this, and this comes full circle. I'm so proud of this story. We were having dinner in this restaurant, and well, there was a group of people who would probably proclaim themselves as alphas on the other table. You know, like, oh, dude, bro, yeah, dude, yeah, bro, yeah, oh my god, yeah, that kind of person. and then they're all just eating and they're being rowdy already. Like, I'm not the kind of person that is like, oh my god, those people are having fun at the other table. I'm not that kind of person. But they were being really rowdy. Like, they're fuck, man, yeah, fuck, yeah, that kind of thing. And then one of them just like, I overheard him say, oh, you saw the movie, man? You saw the movie? How was it, dude? And the guy was like, oh, I'm fucking awesome, man. You fucking punched this guy. And then some guy just shouted, like literally shouted, and the room went quiet. The guy goes, Beard! And I'm like, motherfucker, I nearly, like, if my brother wasn't there, by the way, I just realized how ironic it is that we're actually spoiling movies. But like, we're spoiling movies and books. But yeah, we should put a spoiler alert thing. Sorry, Bibo.
Well, I mean, I said that there is no time limit, but I mean, like, you know.
No, but you can do your beta edit on the, so you can spend like a good 45 minutes.
Thank you, Dean.
Yeah. But, oh my god, right. I was sorry.
But note that the content we have chosen: Lion King, Harry Potter, Batman v Superman. I mean, we're not breaking stuff at you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
But oh my god, I was mortified. Because even if it's fake, you know, even if he misunderstood or whatever, that's an expectation that you have for the movie going forward.
Even
those guys and the kids walking out of the cinema that you gotta watch. It's the fucking kids. Who are doing the moves, you know, we're coming out like with flying kicks and going like, oh man, yeah. Those are the guys that you gotta watch out for. Anyway, Bibo, we'll end it on you, and then I'll take us out of here, bro.
I'll do mine real quick. First of all, I just want to point out, I love that apparently to Dean, an alpha dude bro doesn't close their mouth. Oh good, oh so good, man, oh my god, oh so good. I love that. I need
That's
to see
like
more
a Disney character alpha dude. Like, like, fucking,
And I wanted to share this experience. So real quick, it used to be impossible to get like live streams of like sports and stuff over here, right? So back when I was a kid, whenever a wrestling pay-per-view was on, my dad and I would have to wait like at least 3 weeks for a copy of it to come out in some shady places, you know? And then, so there was a delay, right? And then one of my classmates in grade school knew I was super excited to watch WrestleMania 20. And I was like, oh, I don't know the results yet. I'm so excited to watch, you know, our copy tonight. Yeah. And literally right before my dad and I pressed play that night, I get a text, and you know how you just open texts? He sends me a text of all the results. Chris Benoit beats Shawn Michaels, you know, Undertaker beats Kane, blah, 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 blah. Every single one. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Why?
Add WrestleMania 20 to the list of things that we spoiled, but because he's an asshole. I don't know. Because children are pieces of shit. Back to your point. That's why. But real quick, my answer to what made me choose violence is actually a lot more recent than the examples that you gave. Was if and I will censor this, is what happened at the end of Endgame. And I'll just say that. If that were spoiled for me, man. Ooh, boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some beta fists would have been flying.
That's a 10-year culmination.
Exactly, man.
That's just so rude, dude.
Yep.
And
so
you know what?
Too.
And I'm feeling like a little sense of power because I read the manga of One Piece. Every week I hold in my hand the power
to
ruin Bibo's day. I mean, it's like, no. But that is just irresponsible. All right, you know what? We're coming on 55 minutes. There's going to be a lot more of the Beta Bros for you guys to get a piece of if you enjoyed listening to this episode. I'm going to say this because we didn't say it last time, you know, and if I may, give us a like, give us a subscribe if you want to just listen to three dudes chilling, spitting their shit, talking about good stuff, geek stuff, talking about anything like that. We got
you want to hear some nerd rage now and again.
Yeah, like when you want to hear Dean get mad.
Yeah.
Give it a like, give it a subscribe, and come hang out with us. When we get popular enough that there are actually comments, we'll reply to them. You know, like it's.
I won't.
Not that well. And thank you to the comments from our friends.
Thank you to the comments, because the friends are all love. But like, you know, I mean, we're always down to just have good conversation and reach out and talk. So yeah. Great job, guys. Episode 2 of BetaBeard. Cue in the amazing outro music, also made by Dean Daniel Rosen. To everybody out there, have a good night. You're all awesome.